Welcome to another Wednesday video here at Graphene Business Law. If you're new to this channel, give this video a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Graphene Business Law's YouTube channel is all about free informational and educational content being put out to help you as a business owner and entrepreneur. My name is Pam Matani. I'm the owner and founder of Graphene Business Law, a law firm working exclusively with, again, business owners and entrepreneurs, and doing so virtually. We're headquartered in Toronto, but certain legal matters, including some of the privacy issues we're talking about today, are federal. They apply all across Canada. PIPEDA, CASL, Canada's anti-spam legislation. There are certain, again, legislations and areas of practice where we're able to help you no matter where you're watching from. Today, I wanted to start a series on privacy and technology risks that you're running with as a small business owner, and specifically risks stemming out of your website. How your website could be operating illegally is the point of this video, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. First and foremost, having a website is a great thing. It's an extension of your physical business most of the time. It's going to be an opportunity for new growth funnels to come through your business. It's an opportunity to advertise yourself, flash your competencies, your products, goods and services, all of it. At face value, a website is a good thing. However, where things go awry is that most business owners in Canada are running a website in a way that is exposing them to, without exaggeration, millions of dollars of damages. How do we get to that big number? What's going on? Privacy and technology laws in Canada are fairly recent in the realm of how long a jurisdiction like Canada has had laws to begin with. If we date back to our motherland in the UK, the laws of which Canada still applies, by the way, we are talking about certain laws being in place for hundreds of years in Canadian history. However, when it comes to something like PIPEDA or CASL, again, Canada's anti-spam legislation, PIPEDA being a privacy piece of legislation, we are talking about laws that have been in place for a decade or two. So from that perspective, again, very recent laws. And where the huge punishments come into place from the government of Canada is the fact that in being so recent, the government has strong incentive to make an example out of the offenders that it does catch. And just because you haven't been caught doesn't mean you're not operating illegally. So let's talk about some of the big issues going on with your website. Big issue number one is that you are probably missing a privacy policy. Missing a privacy policy is against PIPEDA. If you're in Quebec, it's against additional provincial laws that Quebec has. How are some of the ways that you're violating the privacy policy, even if you have one on your website? Some of these ways are going to include that your privacy policy is way too generic. Your privacy policy, if you've been on the smart side of copy and pasting one, has likely been copied from US language or a US website, which is not going to afford you any protections. Your privacy policy might be silent on things on the cookie policy of your website, so that little tracking mechanism of your website. There are dozens of ways in which your privacy policy is incomplete, and it does not matter the reason for which it's incomplete. What matters is you're going to get in trouble. What's another biggie that could be missing? So if you are on the advanced side of website builder, which by the way, you could do like on a Shopify, quite easily these days. But if you're on the advanced side in terms of having done some research, really trying to do your best nonetheless, you might have like a little newsletter situation going on your website. To get emails, of course, can be valuable to a business and its database. If that's you, how are you asking for consent for the individuals whose emails are you collecting? If you're not asking for consent, or if you're asking for consent the wrong way in terms of the consent opt-in, opt-out mechanisms, you could be violating, so it was PIPEDA the first time, it's CASL this time. You could be violating CASL, and CASL, it's like a big, bold $1 million fine that they threaten the public with or business owners with if you violate their policies. Another way that your website could be violating, and this is 3, I'll go up to 4. Like there's a lot more ways, but I want to keep the video digestible and give you ideas of what I think some of the most common ones are. Another way you could be violating PIPEDA and privacy and technology laws on your website is you might have reviews. You might be one of the lucky business owners that's built up successful client base actually, and not necessarily maybe even doing this website because you needed to, or maybe you do need the clientele that comes out of your website. Wherever you are on that spectrum, if you have testimonials, though, you're obviously had some level of success in your business, assuming they're authentic, because somebody already made a purchase. Where is your proof that they're authentic? Where is your proof that the individual whose testimonial you have consented? Where is your proof that the individual whose testimonial you're sharing is a real human being? These are things you're going to want to think about. It can be very tempting in today's world of infinite webscapes to be like, oh, just make up like Johnny Boy gave me 5 stars, best business ever. Okay. That knock on your door from privacy and technology legislation might not happen ever in your business, or it might not happen for some time to come. But if it happens, it's going to bring the whole house down, because the consequences that come with pulling tricks like that are financially severe. The fourth one I'm going to talk about, again, by virtue of keeping this digestible, is going to be the terms of use. So 2 big pieces of documentation for a website on the privacy and technology front are going to be a privacy policy and a terms of use, or terms and conditions. That terms and conditions is going to spell out, it helps both parties actually. It helps the party looking at the website, the potential customer, know what you're doing with their data, how you're storing it, and so on and so forth. But it also helps you, because somewhere in that terms and conditions, in a proper set, you would outline that like you have ownership of everything on your website and nothing is to be copied or distributed without your consent, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the ways that your website is likely operating outside of the law or illegally when it comes to privacy and technology legislation in Canada. It is one of the best areas in which to be burned in today's legal landscape, because again, the knock doesn't come every time. For some, it never comes at all. But when it comes, I mean, a $50,000 fine for any of the topics I've covered would be on the light end. So that's, I'm reminded once, of course, I'm a lawyer, I'm a business owner, entrepreneur myself, all those things. And prior to being a lawyer and doing all these things, I had, a bunch of other different pursuits. And one of them landed me in this like emergency management conference with the biggest heads in the game when it came to that situation. Like a global emergency preparedness type of conference over 10 years ago now that I attended. And there was this speaker, and I remember a quote he said how his company was focusing so much on this like specific risk. I don't even remember the risk. And he would get told all the time, like, John, what you're worried about is like a 1 in a million chance of that happening. And he was like, yeah, but that's the one chance I'm worried about. So again, same here. If we're going to keep it open and honest, the chance of Castle or Perpetua knocking, I can't quantify for you how high that is, but I can tell you that if they knock and you're in violation of basic or complicated any part of Perpetua or Castle, it's going to be big trouble. And I mentioned Perpetua or Castle again as the big picture federal legislations. Of course, nuances apply between the provinces or territories. Thank you for watching this video. Of course, here at Graphene Business Law, Privacy and Technology, I would say that's easily one of our top 3 practice areas. So you'd definitely be in good hands if you wanted us to handle that stress for you and, I don't know, maybe be able to breathe for the first time in having a website, knowing that you've protected yourself, your business, your family, your interests. So you can send us a message anytime, info@graphenebusinesslaw.ca. We'd be more than happy to help you elevate your website. If you're not quite ready to retain a lawyer and are looking for more of a convenient fix for now, of course, we can have a conversation later down the road with you here at Graphene. But if you're looking for a more quick, affordable solution to all this right now, I have launched a legal templates platform, and in it, because like I said, it's one of the main things we do, it's one of the main areas you're going to risk getting burned in your life as a business owner. In it is actually a bundle with all the legal templates you're going to need: privacy policy, terms and conditions, cookie policy, to bring your business back within the land of adherence. All that to say, again, that is the like simple one-size-fits-all approach. But if you need more custom help, I mean, here we are, Graphene Business Law. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more free educational content on running your business and being a business owner. And we'll see you on the next one.